badge approval process, different than traditional education, it's not top down from the educator. The learners are self-evaluating their work, and they're being evaluated by their peers. And they will go through the badges, look challenge by challenge, badge by badge, and leave feedback for learners and say either, yeah, I put my stamp of approval on this, or not yet. You're not there yet. Here's what you need to change. And then it will go back to learners if it's not ready for revision, and they can resubmit it. And then it comes to the guide, and I'm the final eye on badges.
I think it's a couple of benefits. So one, the benefits for Excellence Committee, they get to see a lot of work, good and bad, and it gives them the opportunity to kind of weed through what's good work, what does that really look like? And then for the learner that's turning in work, the same thing. My peers won't even approve this, so I want to make sure that I'm doing my best work. It gives them maybe a little bit more pressure because their friends are reading it. They know the guides will see everybody's work, but when you have a friend or a peer that's reading it, it really makes you want to present your best of your best, you know?
I want high school learners to know to take their time, to make sure things are correct, to really pay attention to detail, because when you look at the little things, right, you don't miss those. And so I want them to pay attention to detail.
So when your learner comes home kind of frustrated and upset, I think the best thing for you to do is ask questions. What are you frustrated about? What do you feel was unfair? How can we make adjustments? What are some ideas you can come up with to change those things?
It can be frustrating for parents who don't have a window into what this looks and feels like because they hear their learner saying, well, no one will approve my work. That in and of itself is actually a beautiful learning moment. You know, for us as professionals, if I want to get somebody on my calendar, I have got to be intentional, and I've got to respect the fact that that other individual has priorities as well, and they have a limited amount of time. Throughout the badge approval process, our learners learn that. They learn how do you get somebody else on your calendar, how do you form a relationship with them in such a way that they're actually going to be willing to get on the calendar with you, and carve out that time to actually give you that feedback. Early on in the learning environment, a lot of learners will wait till the last minute to try and get those badges approved. And they will fail because there's so many other learners, they got so many other things going on, and they're just not going to have the time. And so practically it's impossible. And that's actually a beautiful lesson. It's not the end of the world. That's a beautiful lesson. And the next time what we see is, oh, they're scheduling out and getting people on their calendar weeks, sometimes even months in advance to get these badges approved. So if you're a parent, questions can be, hey, how are your trusting relationships with other learners in the studio? Who's willing to get on your calendar? And if there aren't many people, for what reasons? And how might you be able to get folks on your calendar? What kind of relationships do you need to be able to form with them? And how far in advance do you need to get them on your calendar?